a slight hum in the courtroom, whispers, the rustling of papers, and occasional deep breaths. Then the sound of a hard gavel echoes. George Washington, the president of a court, utters the following words: "Be quiet. I call to order one of the most important trials in the history of the United States of America. Today, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America, J.D. Vance, Vice President of the United States of America, and Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla. The public accuses them of manipulating the democratic rights and economic order of the American people to advance their own interests. This trial will shape the future of not only these three individuals, but the entire nation. Bring the defendants in." Warning: the events described in this story are entirely fictionalized. Throughout the series, the court will hear public accusations from some individuals about current events and what happened. You will choose the heroes of the next series. On that day, a tribunal presided over by George Washington, the founder of the American dream, was to hold a great trial. The defendants were well known to the whole world and had always been the subject of controversy. The charges were serious. This trial, which will take place in the presence of the presiding judge, the prosecutor, the jury, and you, will consist of 10 parts. At the beginning of the trial, Washington introduces the panel. The atmosphere is tense and as quiet as possible. "I introduce the panel of the tribunal. I will preside." And in the jury box are 3 former presidents of the United States of America: Abraham Lincoln, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Theodore Roosevelt. The prosecutor is John F. Kennedy, known for his courage and integrity. The defendants have their own lawyers present for their defense. Let the trial begin. President Trump is expressionless. Vance has his head slightly bowed. Musk is frowning, looking thoughtfully at the floor. And as the cameras capture his determined look, Prosecutor Kennedy begins to make the first allegations against the 3 defendants. "In the interest of the American nation, Your Honor the jury, and Your Honor the audience, and the defendants, Mr. Trump, Mr. Vance, Mr. Musk. We are here today to expose how you have abused the trust of the American people. Our first accusation: denying the public access to truthful information through deliberate manipulation of media and social platforms. There is ample allegations and evidence that Mr. Musk's capabilities have been used for manipulation. This is evidenced by what happened after Mr. Musk bought X, Twitter. Kennedy stares at Elon Musk. On behalf of the American people, I ask you, Mr. Musk, after you bought Twitter, now X, you allegedly changed the platform's algorithms to favor only certain political views. You are said to be manipulating a platform that is supposed to be the voice of the people for your personal benefit. What do you say to that?" Musk takes a deep breath. He is calm and relaxed, but he is still sweating. "Mr. Prosecutor, first of all, I want to make one thing clear. I bought this platform to be a bastion of freedom of expression. My goal was not to create a space that restricts people's voices, but rather a space where everyone can express themselves freely. I shaped the technology to serve this ideal. I acted with a vision. I never had any intention to shape the direction of ideas, to suppress them, or to favor one over the other. What was important to me was that every individual, every opinion, every idea, no matter how different or contradictory, had a chance to be heard. When I took over the platform, it was in a mess. Algorithms, like invisible hands, were amplifying some voices and overshadowing others. This was not a situation I could accept. I redesigned the system so that everyone could speak equally, so that ideas could collide freely. I steered the technology. Yes, but not the ideas. I didn't put a filter on what people would hear, what they cared about, or what they would discuss. If some voices are more dominant on the platform today, if some ideas resonate more than others, that's a reflection of public choice, not my designs. People highlight what they want to see and hear. I only paved the way for this flow. All of your accusations are just sophistry. It is not possible for me to change people's opinions on my own will. Isn't that so? Prosecutor Kennedy frowns and laughs slightly after Musk's words. And he continues, Mr. Musk, your algorithms, those wonderful technological marvels that you claim guide the world. You say they reflect the public's preferences, don't you? However, today we are going to present a very different picture. You claim that these algorithms, as you often boast, operate in an unbiased manner. So why is it then, Mr. Musk, that these systems seem to serve your personal preferences, your worldview, and even, let's say, your eccentric tastes, rather than the general trends of the public? Look, we have the evidence. Hours, days, even weeks of analysis. Thousands of lines of code, millions of data points, and above all, results that make it clear how these algorithms work, or rather, for whom they work. This is what we, Mr. Musk, will prove in this court. These systems are a mirror of your creation. They amplify your voice, not the voice of the people. And we will prove it with evidence, beyond any doubt. At this point, Musk sits back in his chair. As the tension in the room grows, Prosecutor Kennedy is not involved in it for a moment. It is clear from his demeanor and gaze that he is at ease. Trump, knowing that it will be his turn, stares at Kennedy with angry eyes. Let's come to you, Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump, when you set up your own social media platform, you claim to present the facts to the public. What an ethical approach, isn't it? Strangely enough, it has been proven that only content that supports you is promoted. What do you say to that? Trump stands up, his voice as confident and defiant as ever. He is extremely confident, even though he is in the dock. I am working day and night, sweat and tears, to make this country, the United States of America, great again. I want to return this land of freedom and opportunity to the days when it was admired by all. But the enemy I face is powerful and insidious. The mainstream media. Every day they tell lie after lie on screens, in newspapers, on social media. They do their best to deceive the public. But I cannot remain silent. I will not be silent. All of them have lied. They attacked me with all their might. I ask you, who would assassinate America's presidential candidate? Of course, the enemies of America. Your Honor, I was assassinated as a presidential candidate. The attack on me was not a personal attack. It was an attack on America. Kennedy and Abraham Lincoln laugh at Trump's words. After Kennedy recovers, he continues, "Oh, Mr. President, you have an excuse for everything, don't you? Mr. Trump, I ask you, will this anger, these accusations, this division, will it really make America great? As for you, Mr. Vance, under the guise of so-called economic reforms, you have taken the deepest fears of the people and waved them around like a stick. Allegedly, you have been a fear-monger on social media, exaggerating the economic collapse to such an extent that people are thinking of taking a knife to the grocery store for the last bread fight. What do you say to that? Is it true that you're manipulating public opinion on Twitter, sorry X, with your "the sky is falling" messages? Vance stands up, tired but proud, to answer the accusations against him. Kennedy, on the other hand, maintains a confident and assured posture. I am the voice of the people of Ohio. Yes, you heard me right. I am the voice of those silent cries, those suppressed anger, those people who wanted to cry out. Enough is enough, but were denied a microphone. I spoke about America's real problems, not in fancy words, but straight from the heart, in street talk. I talked about Farmer John's fear of losing his farm, factory worker Mary's sleepless nights worrying about whether her job would be gone tomorrow, small shopkeeper Tom's struggle against taxes and chain stores. Manipulation? Get out of here. I am the truth, not one of those politicians who perform with fake tears. Now the prosecutor is standing in front of me, wagging his finger at me and saying, "You are inciting the public." I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Mr. Prosecutor, while you are sitting on that bench and sipping your coffee, I am the one taking the pulse of the people, not you. While you are lost in files, oblivious to the real world, trying to dispense justice in your room with the air conditioner on full blast, I breathe with those people in their sweaty fields, rusted factories, and dusty shelves of their shops. I voice their fears, yes, because those fears are real. Were you going to silence me? Come on, you're only afraid of your own shadow. Kennedy starts laughing once more. But this time his laugh is more pronounced. The defendants are getting more and more angry at his behavior, but the seat of the accused prevents them from making a move. Your Honor, distinguished members of the jury, we have before us a theatrical stage, but unfortunately it is not the truth, but an exaggerated show. The defendant presents himself as the voice of the people of Ohio, and tells a tale full of emotion. Farmers sweating in the fields, workers sleepless in factories, shopkeepers struggling in their shops. Yes, these stories sound good, don't they? But let's not forget that we are in a courtroom, not on a Hollywood set. The accused is trying to deceive you with these touching words, trying to distort the truth. He claims to have his finger on the pulse of the people. But if you ask me, he is speeding up that pulse for his own benefit. Voicing fears? No, stoking fears. Taking people's worries and creating chaos by shouting through a megaphone. Isn't that manipulation? Facts, he says. What facts? What he's telling is a scenario of his own making. I have files, evidence, concrete facts. He has only big words and a fake hero costume. Your Honor, I move that the case be continued in the next part of the trial in order to gather the evidence and hear the witnesses. Presiding Judge Washington surveys the defendants from his vantage point overlooking the court. He is secretly amused by the helpless state of the defendants, but tries not to show it. He turns to Prosecutor Kennedy and says, "This case is at the beginning of the road. We have a long and complex process ahead of us. The evidence will be laid on the table one by one. Witnesses will take the stand and tell what they know. Secret conversations between the defendants, coded messages, perhaps decisions made in whispers in dark rooms. All will be brought to light. America, perhaps the whole world, needs to know the truth that will come out of this trial. Nothing will remain hidden. No stone will be left unturned. Today, we are only making an introduction. Tomorrow, the trial will be in full swing. The defense and the prosecution will put their cards on the table. The testimony of witnesses, the authenticity of documents, every single detail will be scrutinized. Remember, this case is not only about the defendants. This case will show how strong justice is and how the truth will come to light sooner or later. All of you will witness this. The first day of the trial was quieter than expected, but this is part of Kennedy's plan, because Kennedy realizes that the defendants can't stay calm for much longer. At the same time, The evidence and the witnesses make Kennedy even more comfortable. Will Trump, Musk, and Vance be acquitted in this case? Don't forget to share your predictions with us in the comments. See you in the next episode.